Ec39a. Freedom and Free Will. Soul to Soul Talk. Freedom and Free Will, Part A. Life Guiding Conversations with Morai Amoro and Jenai Summer. Let's talk about freedom and free will, Jenai, spoke Morai Amoro, continued speaking, saying, first of all, let's first look at the subject freedom. We cannot change the parents which brought us into this world. Genetically, our base of our physical body is pretty much set. We cannot change our past in which we sensed, felt, touched, smelled, heard, saw, and tasted certain things, plus all the things we thought or dreamt about. These things are now part of us. They are stored in our cell memory and mind computer, but not the universal mind hard drive, but limited and conditioned mind, and within it, all the things that happened and connected to emotions. We inherited things from our forefathers, or, for those who believe in karma, inherited this entire life because of past actions, and we inherited cultural beliefs, religious beliefs, and traditions. In this life, we did repeat endless things that made us function in this world, from walking, standing, eating, cleaning, working, and even acting and reacting a certain way. From whatever angle we look, we find ourselves today being a result of our past, a reaction or chain reaction from actions in the past. Everything we think, say, react, and do is conditioned. I think I understood that, Morai, and I visualized myself now being more a robot. But what did you mean with universal and limited mind? The limited and conditioned mind is that robot you just visualized, as it operates in the world of the familiar. The universal mind, in which we can find anything existing and possible, in the past, the moment, and the future, are the unfamiliar parts and experiences and possibilities in the adventure of life. When we would let go a little bit of the familiar, which is the world without a certain freedom, as all is conditioned and reacts on these conditionings and is very limited, and enter the unfamiliar, we could possibly start talking a little bit about freedom. You mean tasting, reading, listening, touching, smelling, and going to see different things? That would be a great start of a new adventure, as we then tune into the balancing force of change and cycles. Keep that in mind, Jenai. But let us now look at the things we are dependent on or bound to in regards to the subject freedom. We are subject to the weather conditions, how the stars are standing, all influencing us as everything around us affects us, if we want to admit this or not. Not to forget the things we smell and the colors we see, the noises and views in the background of which we are not even conscious aware of. All have an effect on us. We are bound to sleep, we have to eat, and we have to go to the bathroom. We are studying or working to make our money so we can provide shelter, buy clothes and food. We have to clean and maintain our body and the things around us. We have to take care of our family members, friends, and even the world at large. We have become part of the stock of a certain country with endless obligations connected to it, and I just mentioned legal, paperwork, and taxes. We are bound to the government and administration of the universe with its jurisdiction system. Every action has an effect on our mind and body, and we are bound to man-made laws. When we do not follow or tune into or break them intentionally, we pay, and which takes even more freedom away from us. Explain that more, Morai, please. Just think about not correctly working with the law of time, racing and chasing, or the law of change, going against change, or manipulating changes in nature, or the law of cycles, not tuning into the seasons of the year, or not understanding the law of duality, that all is created with an opposite, or not accepting that all is a reflection from within our own mind. Not tuning into these universal and nature's laws that also apply to our body and all the systems to the cellular level, that get even influenced by our thoughts, will have consequences. We pay in endless ways through signs, symptoms, and disease on a mental, emotional, physical, social, and financial level, and have to spend our time to hopefully change things for the better. It is the same that we have to obey the rules around us, from traffic to home, office, and other rules and regulations. We are bound to endless things and pay tickets in endless forms and ways, and we still talk about freedom? To think that we have freedom and free will is the trick of Kalimobanko, our own mind, which lets us think that we have freedom and free will. When we would have this kind of power, why do we not instantly change our circumstances, especially the situations we really don't want to be in? So let's get back a little in regards going into the unfamiliar, which will be freeing ourselves a little from the little world we have created for ourselves in the realm of the limited and conditioned mind. As the universal mind has unlimited possibilities in regards to the things created in Crystallia, the creation, we also must watch out not losing ourselves in that, and with that as well. Freeing ourselves from our familiar, we can tune more into the balancing forces of universe and nature, breaking away from always tasting familiar things, and eating and tasting and experiencing different things according to the seasons. Tuning into living and experiencing life in the moment instead of being in the future, the past, or rushing through the moment. Experiencing a more simple life and enjoying the simple and incredible gifts of life is also a way of stepping out from our familiar patterns. Most individuals live a very complex and stressful life. So why not returning to creating a more simple and contented life? Yes, Morai, that would be incredible, using our little will to accomplish that. In addition to go into the unfamiliar, we also have the freedom to look at these situations differently. We can have a different attitude or a different perspective on the situation. Most people are so much in worry, feeling helpless, or too much busy forcing to change situation, but forgetting they have another kind of freedom and power that could work. This is the freedom or power of acceptance, the freedom or power of reflecting, the freedom or power of adapting, and the freedom and power to go into the unfamiliar. But we must do this without expectations. It makes perfect sense to me, Morai, and I will need to stay more awake and aware. And to do that, we need to be more alone and silent in our prayer and meditation. I think that was enough about freedom, and the next time we continue with free will.